Okay, Volvo XC90 right control arm. I wasn't going to film this, but there's an issue with the air conditioning lines being in the way. They're like right in front of the bolt to take the front of the control arm off, so I was going to go over that, I guess. And also I did the left side and I'm filming the right side separately. So, and the main reason is you should always change these in pairs, always. And even in this case where I call it like the princess and the pea, I mean this side is okay. I can feel a little vibration, I can feel a little wear, and it's definitely coming from this side. The ride performance by changing the left side was so overwhelming that it's almost like magic that this side, you know, now reveals itself. So anyway, let me get the wheel off. Okay, so here's the situation. The bolt on the right, which is the back bolt, is blocked by the air conditioning line. And there's a connector there to hold it in place, to keep it from vibrating and rubbing against the frame and all that other good stuff. And there's another one right there. So you have to get like an open-end wrench and do quarter turns or something like that. You can't really get it out because of the bracket right there that holds the splash guard in place. So I'm going to pop it out of the guides and show you how much clearance I could obtain by moving it up out of the way. So let me do that. Alright, and that should give me enough clearance. I just kind of moved it up out of the way a little bit. And I should be able to get a socket on here, maybe a breaker bar. They're on there pretty tight. So we'll see what I end up doing and I'll show you. Okay, well luckily this one was not as tight as this one. I had more room. For the back one, I put the socket on first. I was able to lift the AC line up and out of the way. Half-inch breaker bar would have been better, but I got my 3/8 on it, and I just wanted to show you that I can move it. So, fun stuff. Alright, right control arm is installed. This video was going to be like shortcuts, what I could do in order to avoid taking everything apart, but that was a failure. I had to take everything apart. The only thing I did not remove was the wheel bearing from the wheel carrier, but everything else came apart. Tie rod end, sway bar linkage, wheel carrier, CV axle, all came off the vehicle. And then I put it back on. I used my foot trick. I actually needed help. I needed a helper to help me get the wheel carrier back on. I just couldn't push down the new control arm far enough down to get the bolts to line up. So where are we at? Those two bolts on the strut where the wheel carrier attaches to it. I just had to push the wheel carrier down until they lined up, and I could push it down, but I wasn't flexible enough or tall enough or whatever it took to get the bolt started. So I had my helper come in and start the bolt, and once the bolt held everything in place, and it was easy peasy after that. I'm still going to go to the shop though. Gonna go to the shop and ask them to route the AC lines. You see my crappy terrible DIY crap looking AC hose separation system. Those little things, they broke off on me. They were like, you know, dry rotted. And so now I'm just kind of rigging it up so it doesn't make noise. I'm going to have to put some foam insulation underneath here. That what you see right here, where that's a bolt where the splash guard hooks onto. But the AC line is touching it, so I'm going to put some foam on there. And there you see I'm using these wire looms as separators, keep things from rubbing. Need to make sure nothing is touching the engine because the engine rocks back and forth, and I don't want to rub through the AC line, have to pay for that. So anyway, that's my temporary fix till I get to the shop and have them do it correctly, because it's right now it's out of my depth. I just don't have the parts. I looked on the Volvo Parts web store. I didn't really see them. May have to go to the junkyard, may have to rig something up like I did, only more professional, and do that. So anyway, so I'm going to end my right side control arm. Oh, I did go on a test ride, but since you can't feel it and you can't see it, and I can only narrate it, just don't know how wonderful these new control arms are as far as the ride goes. The steering wheel is solid. There's no vibration, just unbelievable. So if a mechanic tells you need new control arms, I would highly recommend taking his advice. I doubt if it's a ripoff, especially if you notice anything in the steering wheel. So anyway, that's my video for now. You see, even I have to go to the shop from time to time and get that fixed correctly. So anyway, that's my video. Thank you for watching.